Thank you, John. Good afternoon and welcome to the part of the politics show that's just for us here in the West. There's still lots to come in the next 20 minutes as the political storm clouds loom over a blustery West Country. The speed cameras that net £4 million a year from West Country motorists. But is Swindon about to pull the plug? Now, if you're off on a Sunday afternoon drive, if you can bear the weather, watch out for those speed cameras. Of course, there are road safety arguments for them, but every time you get flashed, it's another £60 for the government. That adds up to about £70,000 a week, just from us here in the West Country. But in Swindon, they're fed up with handing over the cash to the government, as Tom Burridge reports.
They're watching us on the motorway, in the countryside, and in our towns and cities.
Thanks to the trickery of television, speeding can be legal. We're spending the morning with one of Swindon and Wiltshire's mobile cameras, because the financial backing for these white vans is under threat.
This is a built-up area. It's got footpaths, pedestrian...
It's an obvious 30-mile-an-hour zone, but not everyone is obeying the speed limit. PC Neil Turner has been monitoring the motorists here for just 1 hour.
We've actually caught 13 people who are over our enforcement threshold.
I mean, that sounds like quite a high number.
Sites vary around the county. It depends on the size of the road, quantity of traffic, again weather conditions. 13 would be about average for this site in an hour.
So 13 people have been caught speeding here in just 1 hour. Around about half of those will go on a speed awareness course. The other half will get 3 points and a £60 fine. So that's around about £360. But there are 9 of these vans, and the vans can be out for up to 4 or 5 hours every day. Confusing? Well, yes, but essentially a lot of money. So not a bad morning for, well, who does get the money?
The fines paid by any of these M4 motorists caught speeding go to the government. But the mobile cameras are funded by the council. Swindon's Tories are not happy.
You've written to the Department for Transport. How far are you willing to go on this?
We are willing to take them all the way, and I would hope that our local MPs, who are two Labour MPs, would actually support the council in its attempt to secure more money for Swindon, bearing in mind we are the fastest growing town in the country at the moment.
You're willing to leave the camera partnership?
If necessary, yes, we have to.
And reduce the number of speed cameras?
Fixed speed cameras are not really an issue. Anyone who gets caught by a fixed speed camera frankly deserves the ticket. I think one of the issues is that people are seeing the safety cameras as a revenue raising scheme for the government, and frankly I believe that because the money does go straight to the government, not to the local authorities who are actually paying for the service.
But the government does give councils money to improve road safety. The Tories in Wiltshire, who also pay for the mobile cameras, say it's a good thing that the fines go to the government.
If we do get the money direct, then we do get accused of putting up more cameras simply to get more money in. Swindon have been a very active member and we hope they stay with it, but if they don't, then the camera partnership will go on.
Do you have any sympathy for their position?
Yes, I do, because the government may say it's going to come back in through the local transport plan, but we hope it does, and we have been given an indicative amount for the next 4 years.
Yeah, what we'd really like to ask the Minister is why the money goes to central government.
The Department of Transport declined our offer of an interview. They say they get the fines, so councils don't use cameras simply to raise cash. And councils can spend their government grant for road safety in whichever way they like.
What would you say to road safety organisations that say you're being irresponsible with this? You're essentially playing politics with people's safety.
I don't believe so. The government's own statistics actually show that safety cameras are not involved in road safety. They are about fining people.
The latest figures show that speeding fines in the West totalled nearly £4 million in 1 year. That's around £70,000 every week. Strange maybe that the financial future of some of its cameras is not that certain.
Labour MP for South Swindon, Anne Snelgrove, is still with us. Where should this money go, do you think?
I think we should break the link between the speed fines and the local council gathering it, because it's very important that this is about road safety, not about generating money.
Is it about...
The government's own statistics actually show that safety cameras are not involved in road safety. They are about fining people.
Is it about the government milking the motorist? I mean,
no, it isn't. I think
£4 million from West Country motorists.
£4 million, but 99.5 million throughout the country, and the government putting another 10.5 million into that pot, which all goes back to local councils.
The government may say it's going to come back in through the local transport plan, but
for their road safety partnership. So it is coming back to the council, and it's very important to realise that. But also very important, I'm very concerned that Swindon may actually be looking upon this as a cash cow, because at the very beginning we heard that they were looking to raise more money out of this, which I think is completely the wrong signal to send to motorists in Swindon.
I would hope that our local MPs, who are two Labour MPs, would actually support the council in its attempt to secure more money for Swindon, bearing in mind we are the fastest growing town in the country at the moment. I think one of the issues is that people are seeing the safety cameras as a revenue raising scheme for the government, and frankly I believe that, because the money does go straight to the government, not to the local authorities who are actually paying for the service.
Give them enough money back to maintain what they already have, and they can spend it on whatever they like. They don't.
It's not right. They should be able to pocket, is it?
They shouldn't be able to pocket the government or the
local
no, they
local
shouldn't be
council.
able to pocket, and we don't know whether what they're going to get at the moment, because the government hasn't made that announcement. So I'm happy to join forces with Peter and make sure they get what they're fairly entitled to. That's very important.
Anne Snelgrove, thank you. Drive carefully on the way back up the M4.
I will.
Thank you.